Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is a recap of my 14-team league draft that I had yesterday, or 2 days, yeah, I think yesterday as you're watching this video, or 2 days ago, something like that. And it is a 14-team league. It's my at-home league. I'm the champion from last year. Going to win this shit again. I'm going to go over the draft, what happened, a lot of my analysis into the picks, and I'm going to rate every single team at the end to see which team, in my opinion, is the best. So, with that being said, before I start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please go down below, click that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me, and it's going to help you win your fantasy football championship. I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks how to dominate during the draft, dominate during the regular season by making correct waiver wire decisions, making correct trades, making correct matchups, streaming, all of that jazz. Also in the playoffs, I'm going to be doing the same thing for your fantasy playoffs, and then you're going to win your championship. So, with that being said, let's get right into this video. So, we're going to go to draft recap. And the recap tells me that I'm terrible, but that's fine because the first pick of the draft was Saquon Barkley, which is pretty normal. The second pick was Ezekiel Elliott. Now, the second owner is a Cowboys fan, so that would make sense because he likes the Cowboys. I'm scared of Ezekiel Elliott's holdout. I wouldn't draft him there. And that's just my opinion. And the third pick was Christian McCaffrey. This is a 14-team PPR draft also. McCaffrey, great pick there. The fourth pick was Alvin Kamara, good pick there. The fifth pick was DeAndre Hopkins. I personally like Adams more, but either way, the fifth pick at Hopkins is a good pick. Sixth pick, Adams, good pick. Seventh pick, David Johnson, pretty normal there. DJ, great running back. The eighth pick, Le'Veon Bell, pretty normal so far. Ninth, James Conner. 10th, Michael Thomas. 11th, Julio Jones. I would go Julio over Michael Thomas, but it's just preference. 14th or 12th, Todd Gurley with the injury. I don't know if I love that, but he could play great. The 13th was Joe Mixon, and 14th was me, Kerryon Johnson. I was stamping the alpha mode pick there. I went Kerryon because I wanted Kerryon, but he wouldn't have came back to me in the third round since it's a 14-team league. So I went him in the first round, even though I could have went with the guy I went with the second round in the 14th pick. So with the second round pick, I went with Chubb. So I got two good running backs the first two rounds. After I picked Chubb, I was thinking I could go wide receiver with Chubb, but I was like, fuck it, let's get two good wide receivers. The 16th pick of the draft was Travis Kelce. Pretty normal for Kelce to go around this range. The first or second round is pretty typical for Kelce to find a new home on a new fantasy team. 17th pick, Dalvin Cook. Pretty injury prone there. I like him though. I don't really like him, but I know that if he can stay healthy, he was well worth that pick if he's able to play all 16. Well worth that pick. At the 18th pick, we have Damian Williams, running back, Kansas City. He's not really worth that pick in my opinion due to the fact that he's not the number one running back on the team anymore. They're going to go with the committee. Fat Andy Reid and his Kool-Aid man looking ass motherfucker went with the running back by committee. I think Damian Williams can obviously step above and become the number one on the team, but is he worth the second round pick? To me, no. At the 19th pick, Tyreek Hill came with the board, followed by Aaron Jones. At the 21st was Juju Smith-Schuster. The 22nd, Devontae Freeman. The 23rd, Melvin Gordon. Someone always is going to have to pick Melvin Gordon in the second or third round because that's just his value. He is just a great running back when he's on the field. Will this pay off? Will he come back in 8 games? Will he come back in 3 games? Will he come back before the season starts? Who knows? I'm not Melvin Gordon or his agent, so I don't know. So that pick is kind of risky. At the 24th, we have Odell Beckham Jr. Pretty normal picks. 25th, Adam Thielen. 26th, AB over Mike Evans. My opinion, I would not do that. I'd rather go Mike Evans over AB. Just preference. I prefer Mike Evans in that situation because AB, you don't know what's happening. He's got all that shenanigans with the helmet. He's got uh, the foot injury. Very confusing. I prefer Evans. At the 28th, we have Ertz. I prefer Kittle, but Ertz is perfectly fine there too. So that is how the second round closed out. The third round begins with Keenan Allen, pretty normal, followed by T.Y. Hilton, Marlon Mack, Leonard Fournette, kind of injury prone. Would I pick him there? No, but I know someone is going to have to pick him in the third round because that's where he goes. Derrick Henry, nowhere near picking him there. Can't deal with the injury that he had. I don't think he's back in practice yet. Maybe if I click on this, it'll tell me. He's still, oh no, he's working out at practice, so maybe coming back. I just don't know. The 2 parts of his season last year told 2 different tales. I want to take Derrick Henry there, especially as my running back 1 in that situation. The 34th pick was George Kittle me Timbers. That's a good pick there. I love George Kittle in the third round. It was around typically where he goes. The 35th pick was Joshua Jacobs, running back rookie running back on Oakland. Good pick there. I like him there. The 36th pick was Pat Mahomes, the first quarterback off the board in the third round. Now this is a 14-team league, so that's probably around the fourth round in a 12-team league. So pretty normal for Pat Mahomes. And if you like quarterbacks, go ahead and go for it in the third round. The next pick was at the 37th pick was Amari Cooper, which followed by Mark Ingram, Chris Carson, Stephon Diggs, Robert Woods, and then I selected David Montgomery. All pretty normal picks here. I'd prefer Montgomery over Ingram, Carson over Ingram, but that's just me. At the fourth round, the beginning of the fourth round, I started off with Brandon Cooks. So I went with David Montgomery here, and then I went with Cooks here. Right now I have three running backs. I have Carryon, Chubb, and Montgomery, and then I drafted Cooks as my first wide receiver. I like Cooks a lot. I like Woods better, but Woods was already picked. At the 44th pick, Sony Michel came off the board. I don't love Sony Michel due to the injury risk, but at the same time, if he should be able to stay healthy, and if he does, that's a great pick. He was far and above, way better than any of the other running backs that were available, so that's why I get why that pick happened. It makes a lot of sense. At the 45th pick, Julian Edelman came. That's a good pick there, pretty typical. 46th, Evan Ingram. Since we have Giants fans, we live in New Jersey, Giants fans. Evan Ingram's going to go higher than normal in the fourth round. Evan Ingram went. The 47th pick, Philip Lindsay. Don't love Philip Lindsay. Don't sure if I would do that, but maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I like Royce Freeman better, but it's going to be a 50-50 split. So maybe Lindsay shows his true colors just like last year and is great. 48th pick, O.J. Howard, tight end. I like that. I like O.J. Howard. Pretty normal. 49th, Calvin Ridley. Pretty normal. 50th, Boyd. All this very normal. 51st, James White, followed by Tariq Cohen, and then Kenny Galladay, Tyler Lockett, Kenyon Drake, Jarvis Landry. All pretty normal picks. In the fifth round, the beginning of the fifth round, Lamar Miller was taken. Now, in my opinion, I don't like Lamar Miller because I don't think that his value is worth it in a situation where you're not going to be getting like 80% touches to Lamar Miller. Now, Lamar Miller could still be fine with 50% of touches, but he's really safe, like 8 points safe, and I just don't know if I'm taking that, but he's not a bad player, I guess. I mean, I kind of hate him in the fifth round, but that's just me. After he went Lamar Miller, Cooper Kupp went, followed by Eric Ebron, Hunter Henry, Rashad Penny, Darrell Henderson, Robbie Anderson, David Njoku, Deshaun Watson, Godwin, Williams, Sammy Watkins, Miles Sanders, Latavius. I took Latavius Murray. Let me talk about David Njoku. Now, David Njoku, I'm pretty sure went above other guys like Cook. I think Hunter Henry went, so like above a guy like Cook. If you like Njoku live, you want to buy into the Browns offense, go Njoku. Not that bad of a pick. In the fifth round, kind of early for me, but the tight ends did go fast in this draft, so you got to get yours if you want one early. So I picked Latavius Murray here. He's my fourth running back. I like him for the safety on the bench to that guy I know I can play as the flex if someone gets hurt. A guy who I'm fine plugging in as my RB2. And if Alvin Kamara goes down, he just goes past everyone and gets slotted in to the running back position, or I could just trade him to the Alvin Kamara owner. With the sixth round pick, I selected Mr. DJ Moore, who was, in my opinion, was the best wide receiver available. So at that point, I would have preferred Godwin, but he didn't come to me. He was selected the round before. So, after I selected DJ Moore, Marvin Jones went, followed by Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went ahead of guys like Andrew Luck and Rodgers. I don't know if I would do that. He was feeling dangerous, went Baker Mayfield. I don't hate that necessarily because, you got to get your guy. If he's your guy, you got to get him. I'd prefer Rodgers over Baker, but that's just me. I'd prefer Luck. Wouldn't prefer Luck over Baker due to that calf strain that I'm avoiding. So after Rodgers went, Alshon Jeffrey went, followed by Tevin Coleman, Austin Eckler, Christian Kirk, Cam Newton went a bit early for Cam Newton, but at the same time, you got to get your guy. He likes Cam Newton. He thinks Cam Newton's going to be good. Go Cam Newton. LaShawn McCoy, way too early for LaShawn McCoy, in my opinion. I'm not touching him at all. Allen Robinson went, followed by Darius Geis, a guy who I don't like to touch either in the draft, and then Drew Brees, pretty normal quarterback there. Pretty early for him, but pretty normal pick. After that, he went with Will Fuller, kind of injury prone. If he gets injured, then this pick will be useless, I guess. Probably for 6 weeks will be a good pick. But I like Will Fuller for 6 weeks, and if he's able to stay healthy in the seventh round, that is amazing value. at the 86 pick, followed by Jared Cook. And these people are all my friends. So if I say anything here and you guys get pissed off, I know a lot of you watch these fucking videos. I'm sorry, but like I'm just being honest with you. This is what I think. I could be completely wrong. My team might suck cock and be terrible. So I'm just being honest. And while you're here, while I stopped here, go click that like button down below. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. So after Will Fuller went, Jared Cook went, followed by Curtis Samuel, who could be better than DJ Moore, in my opinion. I picked DJ Moore. Curtis Samuel could have ended up the better pick in the 7th. After Curtis Samuel came Matt Ryan. So a lot of quarterbacks went pretty. Like Mahomes went early, and then after, just the whole quarterback run started going. A lot of quarterbacks were going, followed by MVS, Sterling Shepard, Dante Pettis, who now is not looking like the greatest pick in the 7th round. There's some decent value there after you already get a few wide receivers if he's a bench player. In the 7th, Chicago Bears defense was picked. I cannot advise in doing this. Soul Survivors, that team, the owner of that team loves shaking up the draft. He's a big shake up the draft guy. He shook up the fucking draft, picked Chicago Bears defense. If that's what you like doing, go ahead and do it. I can't do it. I think it's a bad pick. But in the end of the day, the Bears could be the number one defense and play better than some people's starting players. Like his defense may score more points than some people's running backs. So who knows? Might be worth it. After that, he picked the Bears. DD went, followed by Kiki Cootie, Peyton Barber, Jordan Howard, N'Keal Harry, Royce Freeman. Notice how Peyton Barber went before Ronald Jones. Kind of weird. I selected Rolls-Royce Freeman with my, what pick round is this? This is my 7th round selection. I like Rolls-Royce. I have a bunch of running backs now. I think this is my, let's see. I think this is my 5th running back. And I have 2 wide receivers. Because I like loading up on these running backs. We have a bunch of guys that could be great. And then I went with Geronimo Allison after Marvin with my 8th round pick because MVS was already off the board, and I was just thinking that I want to get a piece of this Green Bay offense, and by doing that, get a receiver that's in the slot that Aaron Rodgers could target heavily. Played pretty good last year. I like Allison there. After I went Allison, Jared Goff came off the board, so these quarterbacks are coming fast. Austin Hooper, tight ends are going fast as well. Larry Fitz, too old for my liking in the 8th round. Could prove to be solid though if Kyler Murray's great and likes Larry Fitz. AJ Green finally went in the 8th round. This is about where he's going. This is about where everyone's looking to pull the trigger. Everyone in the draft was like, who's gonna pick AJ Green? He picked AJ Green. Will that be correct? Who knows? I like AJ Green pretty late. I'd have to wait till like the 10th round to go with him. But I mean, at some point, if he comes back after 3 games, he may end up being a wide receiver 1. So that's kind of good value. After that, Deion Lewis went a little too early for me. Kareem Hunt in the 8th, a little too early for me too. For Kareem, but if you draft a good bench, it could easily work out. After that, Deshaun Jackson, I like him. Cortland Sutton, I'd prefer to go just Deshaun Hamilton later, but that could prove to be a good pick if he's the wide receiver 1. Vance McDonald, good tight end, I like that. Rudolph, way too early for Rudolph in my opinion. Russell Wilson, pretty normal around here. Emmanuel Sanders could be a good pick if he's the 1. Jameson Crowder, that's kind of early for Jameson Crowder, but who knows? He may be the wide receiver 2 on that team, and that could be pretty good value in the 8th round if Darnold ends up being pretty great. The Rams, a little too early for a defense. I don't like doing that. Kansas City running back Carlos Hyde went here. That's pretty good value for him in the 9th, I would say, because they're going with this committee approach. So maybe you want to just get Hyde later instead of Damian Williams, or you can go Darwin Thompson even later. After that, Matt Breida went in the 9th. Kind of early for Breida. I like Breida, though. Carson Wentz. I don't like Carson Wentz at all. At all. I don't even know. He's not even his quarterback 1, so it doesn't really matter. Because then Carson Wentz's injury risk is completely outweighed by the fact that you already have a starting quarterback. So it's perfectly fine here. 117, Ronald Jones. Like I said, Peyton Barber went before him. Rojo could emerge as the RB1. Phillip Rivers there. Bit too early for Rivers. I'd prefer a different type of quarterback there. Kalen Ballage. Pretty good value pick here by Mr. Making It Wanye. At the 120, Golden Tate. Could prove to be good. 4 weeks in, Golden Tate might be the wide receiver 1 or 2 on that team and could be seeing a lot of targets. Am I willing to draft him? No, but someone is. At the 121, we got Mohamed Sanu, wide receiver, Atlanta. At the 122, we got Trey Burton. A lot of tight ends are going. Like I said, Corey Davis. I hate Corey Davis. He went in the 9th round. I wouldn't even touch him in the 18th round. I fucking can't stand that guy. Ito Smith, great pick there. I don't know if he had Devontae Freeman. We'll see at the end when I do draft grades. At the 125, Naheem Hines, pretty good pick there. Same with Ito. Same thing with, even more so with Ito, better because I think Ito will be the running back 2 on that team and be like in the Tevin Coleman role. And I think Naheem Hines could, if Marlon Mack gets hurt, he'll be great. but he's the pass catching back on that team as well. And then I went with Mark Andrews at the bottom of the ninth round. That's the If I didn't pick him there were so many tight ends getting picked that I'm surprised he made it this far. At the 10th round, the first pick I made was Anthony Miller. Now, Anthony Miller sprained his ankle the next day and said, fuck you, Nick. Or that day earlier, he said, fuck you, Nick. But I picked him anyways because you know what? He should be back for week 1, and he's my bench receiver, so it's fine. At the 128, Justin Jackson went. Pretty good pick there. I like Justin Jackson for the fact that if Melvin Gordon's suspended for 8 weeks, there's the value you got right there. 8 weeks for free of Justin Jackson. And then at the 129, DraftKings Metcalf, aka DK Metcalf, the rookie went. Don't love that pick. I do like DK Metcalf. I just don't know if I'd be able to pull the trigger there, depending on what his team composition is. We don't know that yet. We're going to review all the teams after. And then Kyler Murray went, followed by Big Ben Roethlisberger, LA Rams, or LA Chargers. I don't like getting defenses this early. AP, but that AP, Jordan Reed, Paris Campbell, Devin Singletary, pretty good pick there. Jalen Samuels, good handcuff for Connor. I don't know if he had Connor, actually. I don't think he did. Tyrell Williams could be the wide receiver 2 in Oakland or the wide receiver 1 if Mr. AB is too much of a bitch to show up. After Tyrell Williams, the GOAT, Tom Brady went. Too early for me. Jerick McKinnon. So, I still don't think I have a quarterback at this point in the draft. Dante Moncrief went next. Could prove to be the wide receiver 2 on Pittsburgh Steelers. I like that pick. G-Reg, third leg. Backup tight end for him, I would assume. That's fine. Giovanni Bernard, handcuff for Mixon. He doesn't have Mixon though. Baltimore Ravens, good defense. The early defense I don't really like, but it's whatever. Floats your fucking boat. John Brown right there, good pick. If he ends up being the wide receiver 1 at Buffalo, pretty great in the 11th round. Madison, the handcuff for Dalvin Cook. Lamar Jackson. I think I do already have a quarterback, actually. No, I don't. Okay. Lamar Jackson has been selected there. I like Lamar Jackson, especially in a 4-point per passing touchdown league like this is. Kostowski, best kicker in the game right there. Or one of the best kickers in the game. I don't like going kicker early, but, like I said, he likes shaking up the draft. You go with that. Chris Thompson, pretty good pick there. Jimmy Graham. I don't love Jimmy Graham. Duke, but I do think he has value here in the 11th. Duke Johnson, I do like him a lot actually in the 12th, 11th round. That's huge value for Duke, a guy that could be 50-50. Jamal Williams, good value there. For even if Aaron Jones goes down, amazing value. Even if Aaron Jones is in the game, he's a guy that you may be willing to flex. Damian Harris, the handcuff for Sony Michel they drafted earlier. My 154th pick was Josh Allen. I went him over a few guys like Dak. There was a few guys available. I went with Allen. And I followed that up. I think I went quarterbacks back to back. I did. And I went famous Jameis with my 12th round first pick. I like Jameis because of his the upside of him being able to sling the ball a lot. And I think that they're going to be behind a lot, and he's going to be throwing the ball a lot in these behind games. The reason why I like Josh Allen is for that rushing upside and for the fact that I think he's very undervalued and he could finish as a top 12 quarterback. Same with Jameis. Dak Prescott, pretty good pick there. Could be a top 12 guy. Minnesota Vikings don't like picking defense that early. Jason Witten, I would not touch Jason Witten. Jags kind of early for defense, like I said. Kicker kind of early. Devin Funchess literally doesn't have any hands. Terrible at catching, but if you figured that shit out, could be a good pick. Kenny Stills, I don't love Kenny Stills. I'll pick Kenny Stills sometimes. Michael Gallup, fine pick. Traquan Smith, I like that. Bucker, pretty good pick for a kicker, but I don't really like going kickers this early. James Washington, if he's the wide receiver 3, probably not much value. If he's the wide receiver 2, great value. Tony Pollard, handcuff for Zeke. Tucker, one of the better kickers. Don't like going kicker this early though. 13th round, you like that? Kirk Cousins was the first pick, followed by the Texans defense too early. Lutz early for a kicker. Adam Humphdaddy could prove that he was the wide receiver 1 on the Titans, it looked like, based upon preseason. So maybe Humphreys is a steal in the 13th Jimmy G spot as the backup quarterback here at the 173. 174, Mecole Hardman. Kind of irrelevant in my opinion. Might be the wide receiver 4 on Kansas City, but could probably emerge if Sammy Watkins got hurt. Or if Tyreek got hurt. Dallas Cowboys, great defense. I like it. 13th round, too early for them. Dallas got hurt, great tight end. Great late round tight end if you're going with 2. Could prove to be pretty fucking great. If Zach Ertz gets hurt, amazing. If Zach Ertz is in the game, Dallas Goedert will have great games. Marquise Lee, pretty good pick, but he's on the pup right now. Demarius Thomas, Demarius Targaryen, pretty good pick if he's comes back. New Orleans Saints defense, too early for defense, like I said. Gould, too early for a kicker. Darwin Thompson, pretty good pick there to handcuff for Damian Williams, even though he doesn't have Damian Williams. I went with Rock Armstead because I think that Leonard Fournette's too injury prone, so I had to draft the backup. 14th pick, I picked my defense because the last round. I went with the Browns for their week 1 matchup against the Titans, followed by the Eagles. Good pick. They're playing an easy defense or an easy offense in the Redskins. Week 185. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown could be a good pick. Broncos defense, don't remember who they're playing. Kiss and Titties Trubisky, pretty good backup. T.J. Yeldon could be the wide running back one in Buffalo. Deshaun Hamilton, I like that pick. Quincy Enunwa, don't really like Quincy Enunwa. Adam Vinatieri, good kicker, good defense. I don't even know about the Kansas City defense. I don't know much about defenses, if I'm being honest, and I only know about a lot of their Week 1 matchups. Devontae Parker could prove to be a wide receiver one in Miami, could be worth a pick. C.J. Anderson, terrible pick because he's barely going to touch the field. Nelson Aguilar could be the wide receiver 2 in Philly. Delaney Walker, pretty good backup tight end there. Could prove, if he stays healthy, could be great. Marquise Goodwin could also be a good pick because, as we know, Dante Pettis not really doing much. Jake Elliott, kickers, Seahawks kicker. Josh Gordon, someone's got to take Flash Gordon. If they believe he will come back, great pick. If he comes back, that could be amazing 15th round value. Will he come back? Who knows? Kyle Fairbairn, followed by the Jets. Mason Crosby, Mike Davis, Doug Martin, Giorgio, Trevecchio, Jason Myers, TJ Hawkinson. Great pick with your last pick right there because TJ Hawkinson could emerge as a tight end 1. Michael Badgley, and then I went with Bailey, even though it looks like his job is going to be gone. So that gives you the draft. So my finishing lineup, that's the draft. So my team was Carry-On, Chubb, David Montgomery, Brandon Cooks, Latavius Murray, DJ Moore, Rolls-Royce Freeman, Geronimo Allison, Mark Andrews, Anthony Miller, Josh Allen, Famous Jameis, Recall Armstead, the Browns defense, and Dan Bailey. So I wish there was a way. Can I click on View All Teams? Maybe this will be better. Is it? Will this prove to be better? Okay, this may be better, but I'm not sure it is. Let's see. No, this is not better because it doesn't have team names. Okay, so we're going to have to hit F11, get out of this, and go back, and we'll just do it like this. So by team. So my team was Carry-On. Okay, I already repeated my team. So I would give my team a draft grade of, I would say, around B plus to an A minus because I think when Carry-On in the first could have been a fatal flaw because I could have had a great wide receiver. But I do like that for my 14th. I was the 14th pick, so I do like this team with that. I think obviously if I want a wide receiver, the team would probably look better overall. But I have such good running back depth that I believe I could trade for a wide receiver, and I think I have one of the best teams in the league in my opinion. So now we're gonna go in order of the first pick all the way back. So I believe the first pick was Le'Veon Levita Loca with the first pick. So that was Saquon, followed by followed by Zach Ertz, Keenan Allen, Jarvis Landry, Lamar Miller, Drew Brees, Will Fuller, Crowder, Rams, McKinnon, Moncrief, Tucker, Kirk, Walker, Marquise Goodwin. Didn't draft 2 defenses. That's a plus. Only has 1 kicker. Also a plus. Has 2 quarterbacks. That's a plus. And didn't go with 3. I'd give this team probably B minus. Probably going to be a playoff team. Could be a playoff team. So B actually. Could be a playoff team. Doesn't have the greatest running back depth. Only has, let me count the running backs. There's nothing against any of these people that I'm talking about either. Like your team could end up fucking winning. I could be wrong. Barkley has 1 running back in Barkley, 2 in Miller, 3 in McKinnon. Okay, 3 running backs. I don't like that. So that lowers him to a B minus actually, considering of how one of them is on the pup and the other one is getting his touches stolen. So B minus. All right, the second pick. Now let's see if I can remember exactly what the order of the picks were. That'd be pretty fucking impressive. 2 girlies, 1 cup. Second pick. Okay, so then it was Zeke, then Mike Evans, T.Y. Hilton, Kenyon Drake, Cooper Kupp, Geis, Jared Cook, Emmanuel Sanders, Carlos Hyde, Tom Brady, Greg Olson, Tony Pollard, Houston Texans, um, Aguilar, Elliott. So this team, the start off was amazing. First 4 picks, very good. It started to fall off here. I don't like Cup. I don't like Geis. Emmanuel Sanders is iffy. Pollard's a good handcuff for Zeke. I'd give this team better than the last one, so B B plus. Pretty good team. Could be a playoff team. So, the third pick. Now, this is where it's getting iffy. I really don't remember who the third pick was. If I'm being completely honest, I am quite the idiot. Was it? No, it was not that team. It was this team, I think. Yep, pick 3. Okay, so Christian McCaffrey, Dax Darlings. Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Brown, Marlon Mack, Tyler Lockett, Eric Ebron, Allen Robinson, Curtis Samuel, Russell Wilson, Matt Breida, Tyrell Williams, Giovanni Bernard, James Washington, Will Lutz, CJ Anderson, Seahawks defense. Okay, so their first pick, great decision. Antonio Brown, if he plays, amazing. If he doesn't play, he's a baby back bitch. Who knows? That could be a terrible pick. I like Marlon Mack, great pick. I like Lockett. Don't like Ebron at all. Don't like Robinson at all. I like Samuel. This team is pretty decent as well. This team could also be a playoff team. CJ Anderson is useless. Made some great picks though. Solid team. I think a lot of teams in this draft are solid and could all be playoff teams. I give this team a B as well. Okay. So now we go with the fourth pick, which was let's see. Oh, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Here we go. All right. AK, Alvin Kamara, followed by Thielen, Fournette, Galladay, Henry. Great start right there. I don't like Fournette, but could prove to be pretty good if he doesn't get injured. And then it fell off for me here with McCoy. I like Matt Ryan. I don't like Rudolph. But then again, he's the second tight end, but I don't think you need to draft a second tight end that early. I like Wentz as your backup. That's fine. Jalen Samuels is a good handcuff right there for Connor, even though you don't have him. Too early for defensive kicker. I like Humphreys. I like Parker. Josh Gordon could be a waste of a pick. This team is probably a B minus, I would say, just because the 6th round LaShawn McCoy pick is just not going to work out. So C, not C minus, C. All right, and then the fourth pick. That was the fourth pick, so I think this was the 5th pick. Yep, full of beans. The 5th pick. D-Hop, Odell, great start to your team. Then, quite the fall apart happened with Derrick Henry, Tariq Cohen. I hate Derrick Henry. Don't like Tariq Cohen because I think that Montgomery's going to steal all those rushes. But then, he made some redemption. Rashad Penny, great pick there. Cam Newton, pretty good quarterback. A little early there. I like him, though. If his shoulder keeps up. MVS, great pick. Vance McDonald, great pick. Ronald Jones, good pick. Devin Singletary, great pick. John Brown, great pick. Traquan Smith, great pick. Jimmy G Spot, I don't really like him that much, but that's fine pick as your second guy. Chiefs defense, I don't know who they're playing week 1. I think it was a hard opponent, maybe. And then Fairbairn. So overall, this team's like a C plus because actually, yeah, C plus because I'm not really feeling the starting running back core. I like the receivers, though. Okay. Now that we're at the 6th pick, I couldn't fucking tell you who the 6th pick was. Nope. Nope. Yes, Nick Top, Cat Bottom, referring to not me, Nick, a different Nick in the league. So, the first pick, Devontae Adams, followed by Melvin Gordon. Very risky. Don't like that pick. Could prove to be great pick, though, if he doesn't hold out. 3rd pick, Kittle. I like that. 4th pick, James Washington. Darrell Henderson. Good pick again. But actually, Darrell Henderson is kind of iffy because you don't know what his role is entirely going to be. You don't know because if Gurley goes down, he could be a running back 1. But it could be Malcolm Brown's show. Kind of confusing with Darrell Henderson, but he's his 3rd running back. But he probably will have to start him because Melvin Gordon is going to be out. So I don't necessarily love that. Christian Kirk, pretty good pick. Sterling Shepard, injured. I don't really like him that much. Sutton, okay pick. Rivers, don't like him over any of the other guys that are available. Paris Campbell, okay. Madison, great pick. Gallup, okay pick. Hardman, not that good of a pick. Kicker, defense. Okay, so that team is C+. Really good wide receivers, but the running back core and a great tight end, but quarterback, iffy. Because Rivers is good, but I just don't like him because he's too safe. Okay, 7th pick. Let's see. Nope, was not Soul Survivors. All right, making it Wanye. DJ, great first pick. Devontae Freeman, don't like him, too injury prone. Josh Jacobs, pretty good pick. Tyler Boyd, pretty good. Anderson, pretty good. Eckler, really good pick in the 6th if Melvin Gordon holds out or if Melvin Gordon's in. Dante Pettis, don't really like him as much anymore. Deshaun Jackson, great pick. Balaj, great pick. Jordan Reed, terrible. I can't stand Jordan Reed. Lamar Jackson, pretty good pick. Stills good pick. Dallas Cowboys defense, great pick, but a little too early. Anunwa, no, you don't want that. You don't want Anunwa and Robbie Anderson, and then kicker, pretty good. B minus for this team. Pretty good team, could make the playoffs. Now, a lot of this talk about could make the playoffs doesn't really fucking matter because half the team's going to be gone in a couple of weeks because you just drop people get hurt, stuff like that. So, with the 8th pick, we got Soul Survivors. First pick, Le'Veon Bell, followed by Juju, and then Pat Mahomes. So you got a great running back, great wide receiver, great quarterback. I don't like going quarterback that early. Could be good, though. Okay, after you went Pat Mahomes, went with Ridley, so he's got 2 wide receivers now. They went Njoku a little early for Njoku for my liking. Coleman, with all these guys getting hurt, could be a steal here in the 6th round. I like Coleman a lot more now due to that injury. And then the Bears a little too early. Kareem Hunt a little too early. Golden Tate could be great after 4 weeks. AP, okay pick there in the 10th because the running back value there late is not that good. And if AP is the one, then that's a perfectly fine pick. Gostowski a little too early for me. Funches, I don't really like. Goddard, great pick. Hamilton, great pick. Mike Davis could be getting a lot of touches here on this team, potentially. And a good handcuff if someone was to get hurt there. I give this team a B- as well. All right, now we got, let's see, we are at pick 8. All right, 9. Let's see, who would be 9? Nope, that's 11, 12, 9. All right, James Conner, Aaron Jones, 2 great running back duo right there. Amari Cooper, a little, I don't like him as my wide receiver 1 due to his, some games he's great, some games he's terrible, so I don't really like that. OJ Howard, I would have much rather wanted a wide receiver there instead of Howard. Howard's a pretty good pick there, though. That's typically where he goes in the 4th round. Deshaun Watson, I feel like going quarterback early. That's perfectly fine. Watson's a good pick there. Jeffrey, D.D. Westbrook. I like Westbrook. Deion Lewis, too early for him. Sanu, too early. Chargers defense, too early. Chris Thompson, good pick. Zerline, too early. Lee, Pup. T.J. Yeldon could be a great pick. Doug Martin could be a good pick if someone was to get hurt. This team is, let's see. The thing is I don't like Cooper. But this team's a C plus. Okay, so now we need 10. That's not 10. Is this 10? That's 11. Fuck my asshole. Is this 10? This is 10 right here. This team got auto drafted, not the whole time, but towards the end. So this team is like whack as fuck. Like if you you'll notice that's whack, okay? So he's got Michael Thomas, Tyreek, great. Ingram, I don't really like. Lindsey, I don't really like. 2 solid running backs, though. Could be pretty good. I just don't like drafting them. Godwin, great pick. Rogers, great pick. Cootie, great pick. AJ Green, okay. Burton, okay. Big Ben, okay pick. Jimmy Graham, okay pick. Jags defense, okay pick. Actually, I don't like going defense that early. Demaryius Thomas could be good. Mike Mitchell Trubisky could be good. Giorgio Travacchio. So did you notice that the computer gave him 3? He made the selection of Rogers. I think he lagged out around over here, around AJ Green. So 3 quarterbacks, stupid. But that's based upon the computer making a decision, and he only has 2 running backs. So this team probably has the worst rating, but has one of the best owners in the league, so could probably turn around into a playoff team. But right now, with 2 running backs, that's a D. I don't hate he'll probably figure it out, though, and be fine, because you can just trade one of your receivers. You can trade Godwin for a good running back, and you'll be perfectly fine. So, with that being said, now we go to the 11th, and I wish I was able to remember who was 11 because I am quite the idiot. 11, the Lombardi Trophy. Julio, good pick. Followed by Damian Williams, don't really like him due to the RBBC. Chris Carson, good pick. Evan Ingram, a little too early for my liking, but I like Ingram. Mike Williams, good pick. Luck, too early because of the calf sprain, but he fell to the 6th, so if his calf is fine, great pick there. Peyton Barber, too early. I like Rojo better slightly. Larry Fitz, bad pick, don't like him. Hate Corey Davis. Kyler Murray, good pick in the 10th. I like Duke Johnson in the 11th. Hate Witten. I don't like going 2 defenses. C- for this team. Now, let's see. Fuck. Now we got the 12th pick, which is my ball, Zach Ertz. Okay. So Todd Gurley followed by Dalvin Cook. 2 injury-prone guys. If they both are healthy, this team could win the championship 100%. If both these guys stay healthy the whole season. If they don't, and they play like 12 games, yeah, you're probably not touching the playoffs. Stefon Diggs, going 2 Minnesota players. Not new sure if I would do that, but Stefon Diggs, great pick there. Edelman, good pick. Watkins, good pick. Baker went before a lot of quarterbacks, so it's kind of early in my opinion, but he was feeling dangerous. Jordan Howard, I like Miles Sanders way more, but he could prove worth it for a few picks, or I mean a few weeks. Hooper, I like, but not enough to go in the 8th round. But then again, there was a tight end run. Ito Smith, great running back great pick right there because he could be the running back 2 on that team and could be the RB1 if Freeman gets hurt. DK Metcalf, a little too early for me. Jamal Williams, great pick. Vikings defense too early. Rob Gold too early. Marquise Brown, okay, and TJ Hawkinson, great pick because of his breakout potential. All right, so now we're on to team 13, and that is Luca Brazzi, my own father. That is, I play with my own dad. Oh man, that sounded weird. I play fantasy football with my own dad. You know what I'm saying? So all right. So his first pick was Joe Mixon, followed by Travis Kelce. And there's no bias here on any of these teams. Travis Kelce, I like. There in the second. Not as much in a 14-team league, but I mean, he was going around some receivers, and you lock down the tight end one when you make that pick. So pretty good pick. Woods, great pick. I love Woods. Sony Michel, I like, kind of injury prone, but I mean, if he can stay healthy, that's a good pick. Miles Sanders, I like a lot to emerge. So he matched. So even if Sony gets hurt, he still has Sanders, who will be pretty great as his flex, or it could be that option. Marvin Jones, a little early for Jones. Probably he was the best wide receiver available at that point, so that's a good pick. N'Keal Harry could be proved to be pretty fucking good if he is used heavily on the Patriots, and I think he could be. So that's pretty much worth a pick. But he already has 2 wide receivers, so this guy is a bench player. Jared Goff, pretty good in the 8th round, pretty safe pick. 9th round pick, Naheem Hines, okay pick. I like Naheem Hines because I think that he's going to just be the running back 2 on the team who's going to be catching a bunch of passes. Justin Jackson, great pick because if Melvin's gone 8 games, he's a running back 2. If Melvin's gone 3 games, he's running back 2 while in that time. If Melvin Gordon's gone the whole season, this is the best pick of the draft. Same with Eckler. All right, Damian Harris to back up the injury proneness of Sony Michel. So you pretty much handcuff yourself. You're good there. Dak Prescott as his second quarterback. That's a pretty good backup. Darwin Thompson for Damian Williams. That's pretty good there too if Damian Williams doesn't emerge. Philadelphia Eagles against the Redskins, good pick. Badgley, good pick. Pretty much if you draft a kicker and defense, your last picks, you're doing good. This team is, I would say, B to B plus range. Could have better running backs because he went Kelce early, but has the best tight end in the game. And then I was the 14th pick. I already went over my team, and I gave myself an A minus. So I think I have the best team in the league. But you guys can debate. Say which team was the best in the comments. So thank you guys all for watching this video. This one's probably a long one. I hope you, that's what she said. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you ended up enjoying, please click that like button down below. Please click that subscribe button. Have a great goddamn day. Come back for the video later at 5:15 EST. I love you all. Goodbye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for 300 subscribers.